Shana Tova, everybody.
Shana Tova.
A sweet and a happy new year to you all, to your families, your friends, to all who you hold dear. Today, let's go from scared to sacred. From scared to sacred. Perhaps over the past year, you've had this experience. Your heart beats fast. You can feel it thumping in your chest. Wave of heat comes over you. Beads of sweat form on your forehead. Your breath quickens. It feels rapid and shallow. Your arms and your legs are tense. The muscles in your shoulder and neck feel tight. They feel strained. Have you ever felt this way over the past year? Yeah. Imagine we all have. It's natural. It's natural. It is your body's way of responding to threat or danger. Your body's preparing you to fight the threat, to run from the danger, or to freeze in the hopes that the threat will leave you alone and move away. Dear, dear friends, we as a people have been in this very fight, flight, or freeze mode for almost 2 years now. 2 years, at least. Began the morning of October 7th, 2023, when our Jewish family in Israel was brutally attacked and cruelly targeted for death and destruction. That day, our family members were massacred. They were massacred and tortured and raped and captured for revenge and for assault and for ransom. It was horrific beyond words. It was terrifying beyond description. And you and I are still living the trauma of that October morning today, 717 days later. The pain and the trauma and the fear are still with us. Still with us. They're in the cells of our bodies. You may remain, I remain, at times tense and hyper-vigilant, scanning the environment for another sign of attack. Even here in America, 7,600 miles away from southern Israel. We are justified in our fears. They are valid. Just 4 months ago, 2 young people in Washington, D.C., a beautiful couple, soon to be engaged, they were gunned down as they left a Jewish museum. Doubly tragic. Of course, nothing is more tragic than their deaths, but doubly tragic This couple was dedicated to peace and reconciliation between Israelis and Palestinians. They were dedicated to that. And their lives were robbed of them. We are justified in our fears. They're valid. Only this past June, just a few months ago, 15 people were wounded, one of whom later died, in the serene, idyllic city of Boulder, Colorado, of all places. A man with a homemade flamethrower sprayed fire against an innocent crowd gathered in a park. Mercilessly, he torched an 88-year-old Holocaust survivor among the 15 innocent victims of the attack. What are we to do with this ongoing trauma? What are we to do with this continued threat? How are we to heal our bodies? How to heal our minds of their justified fears of another attack in Israel, in America, in Europe, anywhere in the world where Jewish people live, and where they are targeted, we are targeted by antisemitism and by people who hate. I do not pretend to have all the answers. I am no expert in responding to baseless hatred, to the would-be terrorist, to the person lurking in the shadows, intent on violence. I do, however, know something about calming our bodies and our minds when we feel threatened, and when the threat has passed, or when it's not imminent, even though the trauma remains in the cells of our bodies. I know something about this because I've been studying mind-body science for over 30 years. And I've been practicing it just about every day during the past 3 decades. It's actually one of the main reasons I came to California 25 years ago, but I'll tell you that story later. Yet so much more importantly than me, Judaism has been teaching it for over 3,000 years. You and I and the Jewish world, we need these practices, we need these teachings now to meet the moment that we are in, the moment we've been in for close to 2 years since October 7th. Truth be told, we've all been in this traumatized state even longer since October, but October 27th, 2018, when the Pittsburgh synagogue tragedy occurred. And it sent fear and shock throughout the Jewish world. You and I and the Jewish world, we are on a journey together of collective recovery. And wise loving compassion and kindness will guide our steps and give us the healing that we need. Judaism offers us each day, and especially at this time of year, during these days of awe, Judaism offers us a path of compassion. God, the source of life, is the source of our compassion. Our tradition teaches that compassion is one of God's primary attributes. It's who God is. As the Torah says, Adonai El Rachum V'Chanun. The Eternal is a God of compassion and grace. This beautiful word, rachum, comes from the Hebrew word rechem. Rechem, which means womb, a mother's womb that surrounds her child with warmth and nourishment and support. So too, in this moment of our deep need for healing from the trauma of antisemitism, we surround ourselves with healing warmth and with supports. Where does it come from? Where does it come from? It comes from family. It comes from friends. It comes from community. Loving community that embraces our collective pain and trauma, embraces it, holds it in its arms, cradling our suffering like a mother or a father cradles a crying baby in their arms to soothe them. That's what we need from one another. This is what we have to give one another. Compassion, rechem, rachum, rachamim, that word that is throughout our High Holy Day prayer book, those words. Modern neuroscientists describe compassion. They describe compassion as the heartfelt desire to alleviate suffering. The heartfelt desire to alleviate suffering. This desire is built into our brains and bodies as mammals. We all have it. We all can turn to it. We all can use it. We move from the fight, flight, or freeze mode of our sympathetic nervous system. Sorry, I'm getting very technical here. Doctors, forgive me for stealing your thunder. We move from the fight, flight, or freeze mode of our sympathetic nervous system into the soothing, compassionate care system of our parasympathetic nervous system of our bodies. We move from fear to love, from fear to compassion. We reach out and we connect with each other in bonds of kindness and love and caring. We do that and we heal. We heal. We heal our broken and constricted hearts through the innate wholeness and openness of one another. Rabbi Menachem Mendel of Kotz, great Hasidic Rebbe, Menachem Mendel of Kotz taught, there is nothing so whole as a broken heart. There is nothing so whole as a broken heart. We offer our broken hearts to God. We share our broken hearts with one another. We turn toward each other. And we turn toward our trusted neighbors, toward our friends, toward our family members, toward our community and our allies, and we connect with them. We sit with them. We stand in their presence. We talk. We listen. We laugh. We cry. We celebrate. We mourn. We give. And we receive. And as Jews, of course, we eat and we drink together with them. We do all the things that friends and family and community do with one another to relate and to connect and to heal. Healing our collective trauma together, renewing our collective nervous systems together with connection, loving kindness, and rachamim, compassion. Friends, there's at least one more important path to our recovery. You can probably think of more, and I encourage you to share it during our luncheon together. One more path to our recovery that I want to talk about that also moves us from fight or flight to calm and to safety, from sympathetic to parasympathetic nervous system activation in our bodies, in our minds. It is the age-old Jewish spiritual practice of blessing and gratitude. It's called Hakarat HaTov. Hakarat HaTov, literally seeing the good, seeing the blessings in our lives in gratitude. Judaism guides us to wake up each day in gratitude. Our religious school students know it well. We sing Modeh Moda Ani. We give thanks to God in gratitude for another day, for our lives, for everything good in our lives. That's how we wake up in Judaism, in gratitude for all the good that surrounds us, for all the good that is within us, that God has implanted within us. Now, prominent voices in the Jewish world have rightly lamented that we felt abandoned on October 7th and the days that followed. Many people turned a blind eye to our shock-filled suffering. Friends did. Former allies did. Teachers and students on college campuses did. Local school boards did. Local, national, international leaders did. Not all, but many of them hardened their hearts. They hardened their hearts against us like Pharaoh of ancient Egypt. They hardened their hearts to the unfathomable pain of our broken hearts. And we felt abandoned, alone, our trauma invalidated. All of this was true. And yet, at the very same time, when we turned toward the good, Hakarat HaTov, when we lifted our tear-soaked eyes, when we lifted up our eyes, we could perceive the goodness surrounding us. We could see the many people were standing right beside us, offering their love and their compassion and their kindness. We saw the brave souls near Nova, like Bedouin minibus driver Youssef Ziadni and Israeli farmer Oz Davidian, that I talked about last year. They risked their lives. They risked their families to save our young sisters and brothers under brutal attack right outside Gaza. They risked their lives for strangers, fellow human beings in need, suffering, with compassion. Closer to home, the courageous security guards right outside here at Temple Sinai and here throughout America who stood watch and continue to do so over us and our families and our Jewish institutions, risking their lives and their families to keep us safe and protected. God bless them. We see their goodness. We recognize, we see all the Jewish and Jewish adjacent organizations in Israel, in America, around the world, who worked and continue to work day and night tirelessly to keep our people safe and to comfort us and to help us heal. God bless them. We recognize their wise and their loving acts. We acknowledge all our Jewish and non-Jewish friends and neighbors who spoke to us and who continue to speak to us in sympathy and solidarity and understanding. Their warmth and their succor, they help us feel safe, and they soothe our troubled spirits. God bless them. We see the beauty of their souls. We are deeply grateful. And we appreciate how our Jewish community and the thousands of Jewish communities across the planet are a source of love and friendship and support during these difficult times. We are enveloped by at least 100 blessings each day, as the Talmud reminds us. 100 blessings each day. And there is still much healing that needs to be done so that we can feel safe, so that we can truly begin again as these high holy days beckon us to do. In this new year, we can begin again when we acknowledge and embrace our fear and our pain. In this new year, we will begin again when we open our hearts to compassion and loving kindness, appreciation, and the goodwill of those who are standing right beside us, whether they be near or far, whether they be Jew or Gentile, whether they be human or divine. Just remember, my friends, the words scared and sacred are composed of the same letters. Our arrangement of them in our minds, in our bodies, in our spirits makes all the difference. Makes all the difference. May God bless us for a new year of health and safety. May God bless us for goodness, wholeness, and healing. Shana Tova U'Mituka. A good and sweet new year to you all, to your family.